Well, this is Murphy, this is Nellie, and I'm Fiona.
This is Polly, and she's a poodle with something else in her, and she's 3, and I'm Megan, and I'm a coordinator for Story Dogs.
We met this lady and she said, after the little chat, she said, well, your dog will be a good story dog.
This is Moriarty, and he just adores children.
Oh, story dog, what's that? Oh, well, you know, dogs go special into schools and kids read stories to them. That makes them really feel good and not judged and opens them up.
They sit down on their blanket, I put some cushions down and we get in. They sometimes cuddle right up with the dog, leaning the book against the dog, lying down on the rug with them, and they have a go at reading their stories.
I thought that was really interesting to involve Maury with kids and with something that was worthwhile.
You know, they have to test the dogs that they, A, don't bite the kids, and B, don't eat their lunch. And she was good, weren't you, honey? She was really good.
I've been with Story Dogs now for, I think, about 9 years. And as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the best forms of volunteering you could ever do, because you get to work with your dog and to work with children, which is the 2 most important things, I think, in the world.
Well, it is quite remarkable. It's really nice. When you come there to pick the child up from the classroom, they are all eager to come out, you know. Maybe the first time they're not quite sure what's going on, but then they quickly gravitate to it, and we chat, and they like to pat the dogs while they're reading. We have quite a range sometimes. Some kids have a little bit of trouble reading, and we just slow it right down and pick a nice easy book. And the main thing is they have a bit of contact and they feel free. So I encourage them. I don't really correct what they're saying or not saying about their reading. Occasionally I do. But sometimes I think the need is more a sort of some connection with an animal, a love connection, that perhaps they might have a bit of trouble at home or something like that's happening in their lives. So it's to help round them out.
Obviously reading is the central thing, but there are so many factors involved in a grade 1 or grade 2 kid at that stage. So I see it as being something that helps their confidence in reading. We're certainly not teaching them. We're not teaching reading. We're just facilitating.
Sometimes I find they're just patting the dog like this. They don't even realise they're doing it. They're concentrating so much on their book that, and the dog's just lying there quietly, and it's incredible to watch.
It's just great fun, I guess, but it's also, I think, a really different way to help kids. I used to be a teacher, and I know how many kids fall through the crack, and through no fault of the schools in many cases, but just standard remediation doesn't suit every kid. Some of our kids that we have in Story Dogs are not just weak readers. They're there because they've got family issues, confidence issues. They've maybe had a pretty rough start in life.
One year a child told me I've gone to the library to reserve a whole series of books that we'd been reading, which just was so exciting because this child's teacher said, I can't get him to read anything, and I said, well, Murphy can.
And one of the kids was asked about Maury and whether Maury could actually understand what he was reading. He thought about it and he said, no, I don't think he knows what we're saying, but he knows how we feel.
I see increased confidence. This is, I think, the main thing. That they feel that they're freer to talk and they feel more open.
I've yet to meet a volunteer that doesn't love it, and many of them just say, oh, it's the highlight of my week. My dog loves it, I love it, and I feel that I'm really contributing to the community in a way that is rewarding for me and makes a difference to a child's life.
I just find it really rewarding that each week we're doing something to help these kids that might otherwise be left behind with their learning, with their reading.
We are social beings, we are social animals, if you like, and I think this is a lovely way. In a sense, I've got to know the teachers in that school and everything, and it's formed a community, if you like, a micro community. And it's lovely, and I think that makes people feel a sense of belonging and not so isolated.
There is, for a number of reasons, a huge number of kids that just don't get reading at the rate that the Education Department hopes that they will. And they're the children that we manage to help. And the volunteers get a lot out of realising that they're making a difference to these individuals.